And it's a good Sunday morning. Welcome to Church of the Total Man, a church for men. So get a Bible, a notebook, a cup of coffee, or just sit back and listen to Wisdom of the Ages. We've been doing this now for about a year, and we are now in Proverbs chapter 31. So strap yourself in. The words of King Lemuel, an oracle that his mother taught him. A king's mother taught him these things that I'm about to teach you. What are you doing, my son? What are you doing, son of my womb? What are you doing, son of my vows? Do not give your strength. I'm telling you, it's getting fired out of a cannon fast, right from the get. Do not give your strength to women, and your ways to those who destroy kings. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Good night. Right out of the barrel. Right out of the barrel. This is a mother teaching her son. Do not give your strength to women, your ways to those who destroy kings. What does that mean? Now, I could spend a whole year on this. What does it mean to give your strength to women? I will give you my interpretation. Your purpose, your strength, your energy, your vision, everything that makes a man strong, keep it to yourself. You don't give it away. After 40 years of working with men, I can tell you I've seen the strongest, most accomplished men in the world become weak because they've given their strength to a woman. Now it says to women. It doesn't say to a woman. Speaking in general, starting from a young age, do not give your strength to women. Doesn't mean you can't love a woman. Doesn't mean you are not going to provide and protect. Don't give your strength away. She is not your world. She is not your mission. This is why I've been telling men for years, have a mission that is completely separate from the woman. She joins you. You don't join her. Your ways to those who destroy kings. Nothing can bring a man down faster than three things: money, sex, and power. And it's amazing how a woman can affect all three of those things. I've seen men go broke because of a woman. I've seen men lose power, leave office, leave jobs because of a woman. I've seen men give up many things in their life, forfeit many things because of sex. The power of sex in their life is a very strong drive. I never felt even remotely qualified to teach anything spiritual, and I had to pull myself out of that just because of my male drive for many years, possibly from maybe 13 or 14 years old up till about 60. I remember asking a pastor once, when does it end? The sex drive I was referring to. He said, when you die. And he had a straight face when he said it. Your ways to those who destroy kings. So many men uproot themselves geographically for a woman. You move for a woman. You go through a breakup or a divorce. Then you pack up and you go away. You go somewhere. So many things in a man's life. Now, I'm looking at men my age and older. When I talk to a man, a mature man, so many things in his life were punctuated by an interaction with a woman. Not all bad. They met, they got married, they had children. They might have gotten divorced. Right now, 56% of all marriages end in divorce. More than half end in divorce. So many life changes get made after a man goes through divorce. Your ways to those who destroy kings. What would a life be like without a woman? Being that this is a church for men, I'm speaking to men here. What would a life be like without women? It can be good. There is nothing that can replace a happy marriage in a situation where you have your offspring and your children starting a family. Those are wonderful things. But more than half of the men that I know in this country are going through divorce. 70 to 90% of those divorces are filed by the wife, up to 90% if she is well educated. Men want to provide and protect. We want to put our family in a nice home. We want to make them safe. When something happens downstairs in the middle of the night at 2 a.m., men don't say, honey, you go downstairs and I'll stay up here. No, the guy grabs a firearm or a machete or a baseball bat. He'll say, honey, call 911. You call the police, I'll go downstairs. And especially if you have kids, that just comes out of you. You're wired to do that. Your ways to those who destroy kings. I've said this for a long time now. Women have no idea. They can't appreciate the sacrifice that we make because of our nature. And when that gets beaten out of us, when we no longer care, how tragic is it when a man says, the heck with it, I'm done, I'm out, when he taps out of relationships? Nobody is raised to be equipped to deal with marriage and relationships. It's something you have to learn. I was an expert on marriage until I got married. I was an expert on child rearing until I had children. Everything is on-the-job training. But here is a mother teaching her son, who became king, do not give your strength to women. The first thing she said, the first thing mentioned here, do not give your strength to women or your ways to those who destroy kings. Nothing can bring down a king, a foreign minister, a president, a CEO, a pastor, the head of a household, faster than inappropriate relationships with money, sex, and power. And unfortunately, the wrong woman contains all three of those elements. Let me say it again. Do not give your strength to women. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, or for rulers to take strong drink, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed, and pervert the rights of all the afflicted. Alcohol can get you in trouble. Let's get real about that. I'll never forget Father Martin in his chalk talk saying alcohol is a solvent. It removes stains, marriages. I'll never forget those words. For many people who have an issue with alcohol, maybe it's just best to stop. Some can go from drinking a lot every single day to having a wake-up call and then just going down to a cocktail or a drink or a beer every so often and then stop. Other people can't stop. That's why some have to just go cold turkey and quit and never touch it. It's not for kings to drink wine or rulers to take strong drink lest they forget. Give strong drink to the one who is perishing and wine to those in bitter distress. Well, it's an anesthetic, obviously. Those that are in pain. Alcohol makes the pain go away. That's why many people turn to alcohol to numb the pain. When it comes to life experiences, when a man goes through divorce, breakup, separation, when there's an upheaval in his life, alcohol is the quickest, most legal thing for a man to do to numb the pain. Make it go away, or so it seems. But guess what? The problem is always there the next day. You might have put it off for 8 hours of really bad sleep, but it's still there the next day. Let them drink and forget their poverty and remember their misery no more. Many men do this. I'm not sure what the numbers are as far as the number of men addicted to alcohol versus the number of women. I don't know. But I can speak for men. I know a lot of men with alcohol problems. What do I mean by alcohol problems? Very, very simple. Alcohol is causing problems in your life. Open your mouth for the mute, for those who can't speak, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. Open your mouth, judge righteously, defend the rights of the poor and needy. There's very few poor and needy anymore in the Western world. Even those on welfare and government assistance are like wealthy millionaires compared to 3,000 years ago when the poor and needy were truly poor and needy and didn't have food from day to day. What we call in the Western world homeless and needy is a lot different. Well, here's the part where you really need to strap yourself in with another strap, another seatbelt. An excellent wife who can find. Now, this version of the Bible is the English Standard Version. You've heard it before, like the King James Version, written in the 1600s. A virtuous woman who can find. It's a question. Let me ask this like a normal question today. Who can find a virtuous woman? Who can find an excellent wife? Here's the answer. She is far more precious than jewels. Now, why is this question being asked? Who can find her? Where is she? Because they're rare. They're rare. An excellent wife who can find. Who can find an excellent wife? They're not all excellent. This is why a man needs to think. You probably never thought you'd hear this in church, but you're going to for the first time, because I'm keeping it real, and you're not going to hear it anywhere else. Men need to use this head and not this head. That's 1 Bruno 3:16. I'm only kidding when I say that part. But an excellent wife who can find. Where is she? Where is she? She's rare. That's why it's asking this question. She's far more precious than jewels. Think about jewelry that you might wear. 24 karat gold, a Rolex, a diamond ring, a jewel, a family signet ring of some type. They're hard to get. You have to work really hard to get those things. They represent a lot of work, don't they? When you see someone wearing a Rolex versus wearing a Timex, it's a status symbol. Jewels and gold are status of either great inheritance or great work. She is more precious than those. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. Again, this is not all women. This is not pro-marriage. This is a warning and an encouragement. Again, she's far more precious than jewels. She's rare. The heart of her husband trusts in her. That's rare. That's rare. And he will have no lack of gain. Again, that's rare. So the excellent wife, I'm using the words that the scripture is using, an excellent wife. So this excellent wife is trustworthy. The excellent wife, with an excellent wife, he will have no lack of gain. I was going to say a good woman, but I'll just use the words that scripture uses. An excellent wife, who is rare and more precious than jewels, can help a man be rich and powerful. With her by his side, he can go to the top. It's almost like in Scarface, where Al Pacino says, "With you by my side, I'll go straight to the top." That's pretty interesting, because also in the same movie, he says, first you get the money, then you get the woman. No, it's like first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the woman. Something to that effect. She does him good. Yeah, that's first Scarface 3:15. I'm joking. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. Obviously, they're speaking ideal. Is there a woman who has done only good and no harm to her husband? I don't know a lot, but I guess it's possible. But they're rare, like a precious jewel. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. She's industrious. She's not sitting back getting her nails done, living off his money, feeling entitled. She's got a job. That's why, when I used to ask questions to a man, I would say, does your wife work? And I remember thinking, being a good housekeeper, being a good mother, being a good wife is a lot of work. I'll not deny that. So that affected my question. And I started saying, does your wife work outside the home? Because working in the home is a lot of work. She is like the ships of the merchant. She brings her food from afar. She rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens. Rare. She considers a field and buys it. How interesting. She's involved in real estate transactions. She's a businesswoman. She's not only industrious in her home, she knows the economics of her home. She also participates in real estate transactions. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands, she plants a vineyard. You hear people talk about the Proverbs 31 woman. Do they exist? Sure, but they're rare. Who can find one? Where are they? That's how this starts out. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night, which shows, again, she's motivated, she's industrious. She's not just living off her husband. She's participating as a team member in Team Family, Team You and Me, Team Bruno. My wife will be doing these things. This is what I look for. An industrious woman, a wise woman, a woman whose lamp doesn't go out, which means that she stays on top of things. She doesn't procrastinate. The last thing you want to do is be looking for oil at night when your lamp goes out. Know where the oil is. I guess today we would say, know where the batteries are for the light. She puts her hands to the distaff and her hands to the spindle. Again, industrious around the home. She opens her hand to the poor and reaches out her hands to the needy. So she's benevolent. Why is she doing this? Because it's the right thing to do. Helping people is a good thing. And what a great example that is for her children to see that. Imagine kids growing up seeing mom work hard, keeping a beautiful home, buying land, making that land profitable. That's a winner of a wife. An excellent wife. Who can find? Who can find an excellent wife? Where is she? Her price is far above rubies, more precious than jewels. She's not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household are clothed in scarlet. Kids are warm and clothed. She makes bed coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Keeps a nice home. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. In other words, other people recognize the excellence and virtue of your wife. Part of a successful man is having an excellent wife. I'm not saying you can't be successful without a woman in your life, but with a good woman who's dedicated, who's industrious, who keeps a good home, who creates a good life in the home as the man works. She's working inside the home. She has her own little economic system going. She makes linen garments and sells them. She delivers sashes to the merchant. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. How many women are clothed in strength and dignity? Again, It's rare. Men look for the wrong things, don't they? In a live broadcast I did 2 nights ago, when a man says, "Oh, I have a weakness for this kind of woman or that kind of woman," or when a man says, "I'm a breast guy, I'm a butt guy, I'm a leg man," those are the exact areas where you will fall. Those are your weaknesses. That is where, when you identify those things, that is exactly where your red flags will exist. And that is the way that you will fall. You will ignore red flags. For instance, let's just say you're a leg man. Again, let me say this. When was the last time you heard anyone talk about this in church? That is why this is Church of the Total Man, a church for men. A man says he's a leg man. He gets with a woman who has great legs. I'm using the least offensive terms on a Sunday morning. She has red flags. She might drink too much. She might have a history. She might have ink all over her and piercings, but she's got great legs. She might have had a crappy relationship with her father, but she's got great legs. She might have a great career, master's degree, a CEO. She's a doctor. She's a lawyer. She has her own company, but she's got great legs. All the things that are red flags. She's got a trashy mouth, but she's got great legs. Every time that you say, "I prefer X, Y, Z in a woman," there will be red flags that you ignore and overlook because that's your weakness. Do not give your strength to women or those that destroy kings. Strength and dignity are her clothing. This is your template for an excellent wife, for a virtuous woman. She's clothed in strength and dignity. What do you notice about her right away? If you're looking for a woman out and about, if you're on a dating site, well, it's hard to determine if a woman has strength and dignity just from a site where you're swiping left and or right. Strength and dignity are her clothing, not spandex or revealing skirts or low-cut blouses. And she laughs at the time to come because she's confident in her work around the house, for what she's provided, for the land that she's purchased. A lot of work goes into a household before you can sit back and laugh at time to come. Now we're possibly facing World War III. Turmoil, upheaval all over the world. Will it come to the United States? I don't know. I think it will eventually. Is your woman fearful? Or is she laughing at the time to come because she's prepared? Is it also saying that she should be a prepper? This sounds like a woman who is a prepper. Oh, she's got nice long legs. She's got a great body, man. You should see her body. Oh, she has a great job. She is so sexy. Worthless. All worthless. Can she tie a knot, create a shelter, and start a fire? She laughs at the times to come. Now, how does that translate to a woman today? She's not running around like a scaredy cat. She laughs at anything perilous that might be on the horizon and coming in her direction because she's prepared. Now, how is she prepared? With the money that we make as husbands. We do the providing, we do the protecting. She's industrious. In other words, we are supplying the raw materials and she's doing something with them. But she also has a side gig. She sees land, considers it, purchases it. She takes a plot of ground that has nothing growing on it and turns it into something fruitful. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. Boss babes. Sounds like a boss babe, right? I don't think so. She looks well to the ways of her household. She does not eat the bread of idleness. She keeps herself busy, not just for busyness' sake, but for production sake. For years now, you've heard me say, look for a woman who is a builder. Build what, you ask? Build something that will outlive both of you. Women by nature are typically destroyers, not builders. Partner with a woman who has a propensity and ability to want to build. And I've just described her right here. These aren't my words. These are God's words that came out of the mouth of a mother, of a woman teaching her son about women. She looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Imagine that. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Kids are thankful for her. Her husband also, and he praises her. That's a beautiful thing. Where is she? Let's go back to the beginning of this. She's rare. This is why you have to look for her. Let me tell you where she's not. She's not in a club. She's not in a bar. She's not on Tinder or Bumble. Okay? An excellent wife who can find. Where is she? Where is she? You have to look for her and then put yourself in front of her. When he praises her, he says this, many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. I like to add, my dear, my love, and my wife. You surpass them all. I acknowledge the fact that many women have done excellently. Not all. Many women have done excellently. But you, my dear, you surpass them all. This is why I'm not a huge fan of the word love, using the word love. Not a big fan. How about this for a card for your wife? If you give her flowers or something nice and the card says, many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. That's a great way to say I love you, isn't it? Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain, or vanity. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Charm and beauty. Oh, I met this woman. She's so sexy. I met this woman. Man, she's hot. I'm looking for an 8, 9, or 10. How about this? Look for a woman that fears the Lord. Everything else is deceitful and vain, worthless. Charm and beauty. Look for a woman who fears the Lord. Where are they? They are rare. And finally, give her the fruit of her hands and let her works praise her in the gates. All of this self-love nonsense, all of this, you are worth it, you deserve more nonsense. Right here it says, her works praise her. It's based upon merit. The praiseworthy woman bears fruit. Her works, what she does, how she treats her husband, is the proper metric for measuring a woman. Not this, oh, she's a 7. Oh, stay away from her. She's only a 6. Oh, did you see the chick that he married? She's a 4 at best. You want to evaluate a woman? Her works will praise her. What has she done? To the point where the elders at the gates, which is kind of like the control center for a city, where the elders look at the husband and say, that is one fortunate dude right there. Look at his wife. Look at his wife. What they're not saying, man, she's hot. What they are saying is, look at what she's done. Look how those kids are just respectful and loving. Back to the beginning, the heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. How many women have done their husbands harm? They use the children as a prize and a weapon to manipulate the husband when they get divorced. Women talk to one another and say, take him for all he's got. I recently heard about a son who didn't want to hear from his father and had some choice words for his father, the son of a divorced couple. And someone said she probably has an orgasm every time her children put the father down. Again, what church are you going to hear this in? Only Church of the Total Man, a church for men. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. I could just do a Bible study for a whole year on that. Where are the women who are teaching younger women to do their husband good and not harm? Why are there mother-in-law jokes? There's a reason why. Because mothers are not teaching their daughters to be good women, and patterns don't lie. That is the end of Proverbs. 31 chapters we went through in a year. We're going to be starting Ecclesiastes next, another book of wisdom for you on Church of the Total Man, a church for men. And don't stop looking for that excellent wife. She's rare.